Hi, welcome to the 2025 Refresh Renew Summit with Soul Heart Collaboration. I am your hostess, Jamie Allen Bishop, and I'm here to introduce our next speaker, Lauren Wenzell, prior behavioral therapist with 10 years experience in the neurodiverse community with a bachelor's degree in psychology, now a human design specialist and professional life coach. She guides clients to live their aligned human design with satisfaction, peace, awe, and success. Lauren loves lasering in with focus, providing practical tools to accomplish goals and have her clients reach new heights, teaching ways to master mindset, emotions, and vision. Lauren has been studying human design for over 7 years and loves being a student of life. Please help me welcome Lauren Wenzell. Yay.
Hi, everyone. My name is Lauren Wenzell. I am a life coach and certified human design specialist. And today I am going to talk to you about love languages through the human design types. I'm so excited to be here with you today and present to you this really fun topic in a really unique way. So, just a little recap about the love languages. If you're new, if you're familiar, there are five distinct ways each person prefers to express love and how they like to receive love. Sometimes this can be an area where people clash, and it's just because they're not understanding their love languages. For example, my dad, he expressed his love language through acts of service, but I really loved to receive love through words of affirmation. But we didn't have that knowing or comprehension, and until I got introduced to the five love languages, then it clicked and it's like, oh, okay, we all have different ways of how we express our love, that we show people we really care about them, and in return, how we would like to receive that as well. And I thought that, oh, well, each person should be da 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 da. But what we don't know, we don't know. And so this thing of love languages really helps us understand ourselves and other people. So going off that last part, I want to also talk about human design because this really touches and expands on that idea. So if you are new to human design, if you have never heard of it, if you're an avid human design person, just a quick recap. A person's human design tells them their energetic blueprint of how they are designed to use their energy optimally. And it has to do with the time they were born, the place, and your date of birth. So some people will say, "Oh, is this like astrology?" It's a new concept. It was first birthed from its founder Ra Uru in 1987. So it has been around for almost 40 years, but really gaining traction, I'd say, in the last like 20 years. And it's really hitting the collective. It's barely like touching people, and people are like understanding and resonating with it deeply. And it not only does it have to do with our astrology, it has to do with the I Ching, the quantum physics. It can read our DNA. Like, it is so deeply amazing, informative, and transformational of who we are. And we are all designed uniquely to use our God-given or universe-given gifts. Human design shows us exactly where we have our own natural defined energy, our openness, where we take on other people's energy, our strengths, our vulnerabilities, etc. So human design is revelationary. Sorry, I cannot talk. revolutionary in self-love, self-acceptance, personal growth, and transformation and guides us to love and accept not only ourselves but other people based on their human design. So I thought it would be really fun to combine the two topics, love languages and human design. And now each person is going to have their own preferred love language. This is just something that I've been studying human design for over 7 years. I did a generalization based on each type. And if you don't resonate with this model and the example I chose, no worries at all. You're going to have your own love language based on who you are, your preferences. These are just examples, and I'm going to also walk you through some examples and strategies of how to integrate this at the end. So the first type we're going to go over is generators. So generators are the energy type of the human design system. Generators and manifesting generators, they're both the energy types, and they make up 70% of the population. And their aura is open and enveloping. When they're really in alignment, they are buzzing with energy. They are the builders. They are here to have that defined energy and make the world go. They're the energy batteries of our world. So generators are the builders of the type, and with their defined sacral, meaning the sacral, if you see in this picture, in the upper left corner, it's the defined red center, meaning that that's the center for energy, for drive, for reproduction. It keeps things going. And their natural love language is to do for others who they love and care about, meaning using their energy. How can I be in response? What can I do for other people so I can show them my love? And for them, it is always nice to be recognized and appreciated for the hard and satisfying work that is done in the name of love. Because with the generator, when they're in alignment, their theme is satisfaction. They feel very satisfied in what they're doing and how they're using their energy. And when they're out of alignment, when they're being conditioned, when they're under stress, they're going to feel frustrated in how they're using their energy. And that's going to actually make them vulnerable with energy leaks. So when I was meditating on this and thinking about, how do generators express their love, from the generators that I know, from my parents both who are energy types, what the pattern that I've seen is they express their love through acts of service. What can I do? What can I fix? What can I respond to? Right? It's really in the doing. There's a saying in the transformational community, be, do, have, right? And it's really in the doing for generators that I think they really express their love, and maybe sometimes it's not noticed because it might be just that's how they are, but it really is how they express their love. And another way they express their love is through gifts. Like, well, let me get this gift. It could be a small gift of, oh, I was at the grocery store and I saw you love this favorite fruit, that's in season, and I thought of you. And so it's like in response, that doing, it could be, a different type of gift. So those are the things that I've seen generators express their love. And if you're a generator, you might have different ways that you express your love, and that's okay too. And the way that they like to receive love. So think about an energy type of generator who's always doing and they're busy, right? And they're using their energy. And at the end of the day, they're just tired and their body is sore. The way they would love to receive love is through touch, through a hug, embrace, maybe a nice little massage. I remember growing up, my mom would always ask me, can you rub my back? I'm tired. And that's how she would love to receive Love, also words of affirmation. When somebody's working so hard and they're doing and they're in service, right? They're giving, just affirming and recognizing what they're doing. It really means a lot to them to be recognized through words of affirmation. So that's the generators of the human design. There's five different types, and generators, they make up about 37% of the population. And so the next type we're going to go to is the manifesting generators. They're also the energy types of human design. And Jamie is a manifesting generator, and I can't wait to hear if she resonates with this. So let's be honest, those of us who are not manifesting generators wish we could keep up with them and all the things they are up to. Manifesting generators, they're a subtype of the generators. They're a combination of a manifester and a generator, but they are an energy type. And so the beautiful thing about manifesting generators is they're designed to do multiple things at once. They are adaptable, they're multi-passionate. It's like they could be having the laundry going, an art project, and cleaning something all at the same time. And someone can be like, whoa, what are you doing? You need to do one thing at a time. That's the conditioning, right? But then with human design, we say, oh, okay, this person's a manifesting generator. They are designed to use their energy exactly as they're doing. So my design might be different. That might not resonate with me, and that's okay. And so this is really how we love ourselves and other people, because we are in the acceptance of our differences and how we use our energy. So manifesting generators love to do for those they love and catch up on all the things they've been up to, because they're up to so many things. They're passionate about it. They have a motor to the throat. So they're here to inform us and tell us, hey, I've been up to this and I'm doing this. And just having a conversation with them, you're going to need a nap, but they're going to be able to go do the next thing and the next thing and the next thing until they're done for the day, because they have the most energy out of all the types. So, physical touch can ground them from the busyness of life and connect them to their person or persons. So, how they express their love, the acts of service, really being in response of like, okay, I need to do this, and I'm going to do this and this for this person, because that's how I want to use my energy. That's how I express my love. My dad was a manifesting generator. I can't tell you how many times I needed to go to school or to work, and he was in the middle of cleaning something for me, like my car or organizing something. I'm like, Dad, I'm going to be late. But that's what made him feel good. And knowing that he was loving me and taking care of me in the way that suited him and his design. And then that quality time, it's them feeling energized of just being passionate about what they're talking about, spending that time together. And it could be um, doing something physical like swimming or going on a hike or a walk, and then just having that quality time. If you're not a manifesting generator, you might need to take a nap after, and then they're going to go on to the next thing. Maybe they have somebody else to meet up with that they get to have that quality time with, or work on a project or run three other businesses that they're doing, because that's the magic that they have. And the way they like to receive love, gifts, and physical touch. It's like from everything that they do and they give, and the multi-passionate being that they are, the receiving of being thought of in that way of like, I thought of you and I appreciate what you're doing, and here's this token. It really touches them. And then also having that physical touch, just like a generator, it's having that contact. It's helping the body and how they're using their energy and having them decompress and wind down. So Jamie, since you're here and you're manifesting generator, I'd love to hear how this is resonating for you, if anything else, based on the five love languages, and if you have any questions.
Yeah, no, it's dead on. I was giggling the whole time you were talking because the acts of service is definitely how I show love. And I'm often in the middle of something when my daughter needs to leave also. So just know that your dad absolutely adored you. Um, and quality time is huge for me. It may even be before acts of service in my test for love
Hmm.
languages. Just spending time together. I mean, we don't have to be doing anything. We can both be on our phones, and that's
Hmm.
quality time for me because we're together doing it.
Hmm.
It's pretty funny. It's pretty interesting, actually. The way I receive love. The only thing about gifts is that, and interestingly enough, my husband is a gift giver. He
Uh-huh.
loves to show his love by giving gifts. He's a generator. Um,
Hmm.
so that matches up with that. But he travels all over the world and brings me back a
Uh-huh.
little something something from wherever he's been, and it's so darn cute. But oh
Uh-huh.
my gosh, y'all, let me just tell you about the gift giving. Get things that are because we as manifesting generators love to receive those gifts and love to be thought of. It's really the fact that you thought of us while
Uh-huh.
manifesting, but they collect and we don't like the clutter. The clutter goes makes us nuts. So like acts of like gift giving from like consumables. Yeah.
Hmm.
Tickets to concerts and food and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, but physical touch is really interesting one for me. I love to get that little foot massage or neck
Hmm.
massage at the end of the day, or just to be, when my husband and I are laying down to go to sleep at night, just to have our hands holding or touching as we're falling asleep. It's very comforting. And we always, in fact, my daughter's friends crack up and they all want to be us, quote unquote. They've told us like we want to have your relationship when we're your age, because
Oh.
we always walk holding hands. And it's just one of
Oh.
those things it's that like comfort level of I see you or I know you're there and I'm I'm just part of who you are also. And it's lovely.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, so it's
Thank
right.
you.
It's two thumbs up for sure.
Oh, amazing. Well, I'm so glad that resonated, and thank you so much for sharing your experience too, because that really helps with you being a manifesting generator, having that feedback and seeing how it's going to resonate for other people who are manifesting generators too.
Well, and that Energizer Bunny thing is absolutely 100% true. The Energizer Bunny, we can go, 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 go,
Oh,
crash.
oh, I know that, and that's exactly how you guys are designed to be, which is beautiful. Amazing.
Love that. Love.
Okay. So our next type that we have is the manifestors. So the manifestors are the initiators. They manifest through the power of their words. So when a manifestor is using their manifestation magic to help you start in the right direction, you know it's love. So with an open sacral, they appreciate those that can help out what they don't have the energy to finish. So when a manifester is technically an energy type, but they're not, meaning that their sacral is not defined, but they have a motor that is to the throat. So they do have at least one defined motor. So a good example of a manifester is the singer Adele. You know she has a power and energy that comes through her voice when she's singing and informing and belting. But with an undefined or open sacral, she has bursts of when she manifests. She has only, I think, made 4 studio albums in the length of her career. So that's pretty low with a really well-known artist, but those albums are so well known and she went through in bursts of that creation. So they're manifestors start things up. If you want to start up a business, have a manifestor on your side. They're really going to get things going. So, how they express their love, words of affirmation. If they use their initiating and words and the power of their words and how they're informing and letting other people know what you're up to and helping you out in that way, you know it's love. They really care. They want to see you win. And then also physical touch. It's it's very powerful when you come in contact with a manifestor because they are here to just get things going. They are the trendsetters. They're here to create. Ra Uru, who's the founder of Human Design, was a manifestor. So they are designed to be the lone wolves. They really like their independence. So when they're using their gifts and the informing and the touch, you know that you are very special to them. And that's how they can express their love. The way they like to receive love is gifts. Like Jamie was saying before, is when it's more of like being thought of. It's the intention. It's you thinking of that person and gifting them something. And then how they like to receive love, since they don't have that defined sacral and they don't have a defined consistent energy all the time. Acts of service, 100%. While they're resting, while they have started something up, if they have an energy type or somebody else they're working with and they can continue on and do all the busy work or maybe run to the grocery store for them, they really love to receive that energetic support. Okay, so the next type we're going to go over is the projectors. So I'm a projector and I know this type very well. Projectors, we are here to recognize and be recognized, and that is a love language in itself. It's probably one of our deepest love languages. It's how we receive energy, actually. It's how we get initiated to direct and guide other people and their energy. That's what a projector is here to do. We are designed to guide other people to success. That is our theme. Our theme is success, and when we're out of alignment, we receive bitterness. And the thing with a projector is we really get to be invited, though, because our aura is very laser focused. It's penetrating, and so without that consent, talking about love and relationships and how to be in harmony, when there's not that consent and that invitation, it feels very uncomfortable for that other person because they're not asking for that guidance. They're not asking for that advice. And so for projectors, we get a little, sometimes there's some resistance of, well, how long am I supposed to wait and what does that look like? And we don't really live in a world of waiting. It's really like, what are we doing and how are we making things done? And it's not, for a projector, it's really about being active in your waiting and how you're sharing things versus if you're lasering in into somebody and trying to help them and they're not ready, that's going to waste your energy. So without a defined sacral, we love to receive from those that can do all the things and the busy work for us. Since we have a very limited amount of energy throughout the day and we experience energy in ebbs and flows. And if we're waiting for a specific type of invitation, the best way to receive love for any sort of like non-energy type without a defined sacral, in my opinion, is acts of service. It just it's a balance. It really helps with that balance because if a projector or a non-energy type is really amplifying and distorting their sacral, they put their health and their energy at risk. And so knowing that right before they start feeling tired, they should probably take a break. That's actually correct for them. That's how we're designed to use our energy. But with conditioning and we don't when we don't know who we are or how we are designed to operate correctly, we'll just go into some sort of monkey mind conditioning of, well, I have to keep up and I have to do this and that. So energy types, they can really be taken advantage of and can be energy slaves of like, okay, well, I have to do this and this has to get done. And, you know, they can be abused in certain ways with their energy, but projectors, they can be conditioned to be the super energy slaves when they don't know they're a projector because they're so driven by success that they're just distorting and amplifying all that energy in the sacral. But they put their health in so much risk when they do that instead of really understanding that they are designed to just operate differently and to know that it's possible, that they can work in short bursts and work very efficiently and guide energy in that way because that's what how we're designed, and then take the rest and recuperation that we need. And when we link up with other energy types and we're invited incorrectly, what happens is we plug in. So our laser, we plug into the other energy types or the invitation that came through, and we're actually being having that access to guide that energy and use that energy until that invitation is complete. But when we don't have that, if that's not here for us, then we have to use our energy in different ways that, you know, doesn't isn't initiating, because the manifestors, they're the only ones designed to initiate. Manifestors, they're 9% of the population in alignment. I forgot to mention, they experience initiation and informing in peace. And when they're not informing, or if they feel like they have kind of lagged in their informing and then they inform through anger, you know, that's them out of alignment. And with projectors, when we are guiding other people and guiding them to success, that's how we experience success. But if we're not waiting, if we're trying to interject or rush that invitation or rush the recognition, and we're being ignored, our ideas are stolen, we're not being understood, then that can be a deep bitterness. And I have to tell you, when I just started to learn about human design, a light bulb just clicked. It was like, this explains my whole life, but I was not ready to wait. I was like, I don't understand. That's not how the way the world is. And I'm just going to continue to do my thing. But when you're shown something and it's truth and it's meant to, you know, lead you to something new, you can't ignore that. And so the universe started hitting me with some more things that was showing me you need to wait. And when you don't wait, this is going to hurt even more. And so when I started just thinking about, okay, maybe I'll just try this on, you know, like what what could it hurt? I mean, certain things are not working out for me in my career, in my other relationships where I'm not being listened to, when I'm seeing certain things, but you know, some people are just not ready to follow the guidance or change. I noticed a lot of energy started to return to me. And I had no idea how drained and tired I was. And that was actually a possibility. And so that's when things really started to change. And my life has just transformed. And I'm just so grateful for this system because it is so powerful in our design GPS system. So, how we express our love with projectors is through quality time and words of affirmation. So, after we're done resting, after we're done taking that time to decondition from the energy that we've absorbed, that from, you know, napping 20 hours a day. No, I'm just kidding. Just, you know, taking that time for ourselves that we actually need, quality time, catching up. It's a really beautiful way that we express our love. And also, I think probably number one would be words of affirmation, because are designed, we are here to recognize. I mean, if you want to feel loved and you've experienced recognition from a projector, it's like nothing else because we are designed to see people. And so when you feel seen, it's so deeply heart touching. It's like somebody, it's like when I have recognized people, when I'm using words of affirmation, when I'm seeing who somebody is and shining light into their gifts, it's like their eyes light up. It's like energy returns to them. It's such a beautiful shift. And I think that's one of the greatest gifts that projectors are designed to give and show their love. And the way we like to receive love is acts of service 100%. You know, if you can help me fix my car, run some errands for me, help me with my laundry when I don't have the energy, it's it's practical and it's helpful. And that is a beautiful way to receive love. And I think it's something that we sometimes take for granted. And we might have an unrealistic expectation of what love can look like from conditioning, the media, this and that. But it's really in the everyday thing. It's a beautiful, most beautiful way to experience love, in my opinion. And then also words of affirmation. So not only do we recognize other people and shine light into some to who somebody is, we also need that for energy. And so when we're being recognized, when we're, you know, somebody sees us in our gifts, we're actually receiving that energy and we can continue to use that. And that is so helpful for projectors. So if you are a projector, if you know somebody who's a projector, this is a beautiful way for you or them to know how to express their love and also what they will really benefit from, just how they can be their true selves. And projectors are 20% of the population too. I wanted to add. So the last type we have is our reflectors, and they're the unicorns of the aura type. So as you can see in this picture, they're completely open. They don't have any definition in their chart. They're 1% of the population, and they're the mystical mirrors. They're the oracles of the types. They reflect back the environment and who they are with. And they're also known as the evaluators. So anytime a reflector is an environment with somebody else, they're reflecting back what they're picking up from the environment or somebody else. So their aura is sampling. They're here to experience life like a buffet. I want to try this out. I want to see how this tastes. I want to take this in. And then they reflect it back. And reflectors, their energy, their aura type is so powerful. Like a manifester, you think a manifester's aura type is powerful because it is. A reflector is like nothing else. Ra Uru said that a reflector, when in alignment, and how they stay in alignment is being in that surprise, the sampling of life, being excited, being in awe of what they're taking in and sampling. And when they're out of alignment, they're disappointed. Something didn't, their expectations may not have been met, or it was a bad sample of what they took in. And when they are in alignment, they can awaken 100 generators around them. That's how powerful their aura is. But when they're asleep, when they're out of alignment, they can keep asleep 100 generators around them because since they're taking in everything and they don't have a clear definition, their aura can be very distorting and distracting. So for them, quality time is a sacred experience for them, and being able to reflect back childlike wonder and innocence helps them stay in their alignment of surprise. So with Michael Jackson, we were pretty sure he was a reflector. We couldn't really get his birth time. He was either a reflector or projector, but our theory was he was a reflector because he, you know, I'm not going to go into the details of this. I'm just going to go into the aura type of this. So reflectors, when they're around children, that really helps them because they're reflecting back the innocence. And so we saw Michael Jackson, he had a very innocent, childlike way of being and reflecting that back with the children that he had on his ranch, the what he created. But then also we saw sort of the shadow side of reflecting back of the music industry and what it did to him and what it drove him to, and the obsession of physical appearance. So that's an example of how powerful that aura type is and what it does to somebody when they're taking in certain environments and cultures and people. So, how they express their love, physical touch, contact, hugs with, I know I have a client and she's a reflector as well, and she loves being around her grandchildren and just that innocence that they have in the hugs and just having that love and how they express it with their family members or those people they're close to, and the quality time, being able to share that. When you're not an energy type, we really go through ebbs and flows of energy. And so when they do have the energy and having that quality time together, it's so important. And then how they like to receive love, 100% with that quality time, it's being around other people. So they are sampling life, they're sampling that energy. And then also being a non-energy type is those acts of service, how people can help them with doing certain things throughout the day because they're not designed to have that defined energy and do all the things by themselves. So this is an invitation for you now that you've seen how each human design expresses and receives love. I invite you to reflect on your own design. How do you naturally give love, and how do you most fully receive it? And just as importantly, how can you honor the designs of the people closest to you so that love flows more freely in both directions? I think the biggest thing for me when I started plugging in other people's charts, especially my family members, and I was learning about their human design, any sort of projection, any sort of attachment, any sort of expectation of how I would want them to be or how I thought they should be or this or that, it really humbled me because it's like, no, this is their design. This is how they get to be loved. It doesn't really matter what I would like and what my preferences are, you know, and that just creates more harmony and success for relationships. And practical takeaway. So love languages gives us the 5 different concepts of love, and human design gives us the blueprint of each individual. Together, they help us create relationships that are deeply aligned and deeply nourishing. So my challenge for you, pick one person in your life, discover their type, and try expressing love in the way they're wired to best receive it. And maybe you notice the examples that I presented don't match what they prefer, and that's okay. You'll know just based on your experiment of how they respond. So is it words of affirmation? Is it quality time? Just notice what shifts. And journal prompt. What love language feels easiest for me to give? Which one feels most nourishing to receive? So at the end of the day, love is a verb. It's expression, it's how we understand it through our own language, way of being, and seeing how someone else prefers to be loved as well. Human design reminds us we're each uniquely created, and the love languages remind us we all long to connect in a specific way. So when you bring them together, you create a bridge between who somebody is and how they feel most cherished. That's where the magic happens. So if you want to go deeper with your love language and human design, you can book a complimentary consultation with me and visit my website, mytransfiguration.com. You can follow me on social media, Lauren Wenzell and Transfiguration Coaching, to learn more about human design and transformation. And you can send me an email to download your complimentary human design chart at Lauren at mytransfiguration.com. Thank you so much. And I hope you enjoy this presentation, that it resonated with you, and it opens something for you to explore.